Alrighty, ladies and gents, once again it's that time of day. Welcome. Hope we are all doing well on this fine day. Welcome to another edition of the London session, guys. Without further ado, let's get this show on the road. As always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Gold continuing on its merry way, still extremely bullish in my opinion. So obviously we'll be having a look into gold, be doing the analysis on gold. Also, as per request, if anyone has any charts or any questions you'd like me to answer, please chuck those into the chat and I will be sure to answer those as soon as I've done the analysis. In the meantime, guys, if you could make sure YouTube, don't forget to smash that like button, TikTok, hit that little screen for me. Let's get the masses onto the stream. And before we get started, let's have a look at the all-important news. See what we've got forecast for our session here today. And looks pretty like we've got a clean slate moving forward. We do have some Euro news to come with the German info business climate. So today's orange folder won't necessarily impact our session. You would have thought so here today. Probably won't be on stream for it either way, but nonetheless something to consider moving forward. Into NY session today, also pretty quiet day, so you do have one of the FOMC members speaking, but as we are fully aware, guys, at any point in time anything could happen, anything could break, so you need to also be wary of the news throughout the day. Guys, let's get going. I will get to you guys shortly in the chat, and we'll start with the analysis and having a look at as always we'll have a look at gold first, beginning on that weekly time frame. And well, look at that, still well into price discovery here, forming a extremely strong bullish candle, strong bullish in a weekly. Onto the daily time frame. Previous daily did close with a long upper wick, suggesting perhaps it's grabbed some upside liquidity and possibly exhausting. However, what we can see in the current daily candle, we have created a lower wick, we formed support obviously at the low, and we are now pushing bullish. We have just created the daily high. So the back of that, it looks like there is a good chance, a pretty high probability that we may retest and once again create a new all-time high. Shock horror, gold just does not stop at the minute, and still many people are saying it's got to pull back. Yes, eventually we'll pull back, but let's not try to predict that. Let's react to what we see, guys. So what we're going to do is it's just marking the daily low, the daily high. We're currently at it, so don't really need to mark it in. Onto the 4-hour time frame here, and obviously we are still bullish in structure. And look at that for an absolute cracker of an entry, guys. You would have learned that first on this particular stream, guys. The interruption play, we have impulse, continuation, impulse, pause, impulse, and prices tapped into the high of that bearish candle and has since flipped and rocketing back up. So it would have been a really nice entry for those who may have gotten hold of that. Otherwise, guys, we can see we are bullish and will remain bullish here until back below 36.31. We're well off flipping any structure anytime soon. This is the most recent, so this is the last significant high low in the actual uptrend. These are just pauses within the trend itself. So we are once again technically we are bullish on the 4-hour. I'm just going to prematurely mark this here, and I know we've not yet closed the candle, but we will be doing so in just over 5 minutes. So we'll mark in that as the most recent support. We're obviously going to mark in the all-time high as the most recent resistance on the 4-hour time frame. Make our way down to the 15. And what we can see here is, can I adjust this zone at all? I'm gonna leave it deep to the upside. So let's go back to the 4-hour. All right, so we're gonna shift this down to the highest point of any bearish candle to the upside, and then we have it. That's the 4-hour high of any bearish candle. So that is the resistance. So what we're looking at here on gold, I really want to go chasing it at the minute. To be honest, guys, I've had a really good day. I'm already up more than 2% on a buy from this particular candle here. I'll explain that later on. That was during the Asian session, very early into Asian session. But what can we look at moving forward on gold here today? I'm just going to mark in the most recent resistance that we have just broken out of. So for me, I'm not going to chase the buy above. Reason being, we are running out of margin to the upside here. Above the most recent high, look, we've got still 40 pips, but the thing is, you need to consider, guys, these candles, they may not look big, There is a lot of volume within them. Let's just measure that previous candle. That is 55 pips. So you're not even gonna have a 1-to-1 to target to the next minor resistance here before we hit the 4-hour / daily resistance. So sorry, the 4 hours, not a daily resistance just yet. So what I would personally be preferencing here today is either a pullback to the most recent resistance, wait for price to form support, provide a price action catalyst from that level of support to look for a potential buy back up towards the current daily candles high. Or option B, I'm gonna mark in this level as well. That is the level of support below the most recent resistance we have broken, and we have retested it on the following candle. So this would be another option if we do in fact pull back below 37.70 and price came all the way back down towards 37.65. At that point there, I would also be looking for my price action catalyst to look for a potential buy, take it back up towards the high. And if all else fails and we just melt, I'll be looking for buys from lower down. We can see here the structure on the M15 time frame. It's also bullish, guys, and it's not because of this most recent impulse to the upside. It's actually bullish from this level, from the original impulse from 37.50 all the way up to the all-time high here. There is no swing in between, therefore this is the highest point. Let me just shift this down so those on TikTok can see it. The all-time high is obviously the highest point of this initial impulse. This is the origin of the impulse. So basically, guys, anything in between these two levels, we will remain bullish in structure. We need to close below the lowest point of this swing to flip the structure bearish. We're not doing that anytime soon. So we are bullish across the board. Therefore, guys, it's in my best interest once again to look for buy opportunities. I know people are going to be calling for sells. The trend has been my friend all throughout, and I'm not about to flip and go against it. So for me, I'm looking for buys, guys. Just a matter of from what level at this stage. And that is my personal opinion of the gold. I already took a buy from here earlier today. We had a nice strong catalyst in the previous candle. We had a bullish engulfing candle. Not only that, this candle initially popped up just briefly to break the high of that candle, popped back down to create a significant lower wick. If it was to continue bearish, there was no need for it to pop back up and break its own high. The entry was somewhere around this point here, and I literally sold it, closed it out right near the high, basically right at the high, and went upstairs and went and got ready to go to the gym. And that was my morning. That was 7:45, 8 a.m. my time. So I've already had a good day, and we will now just wait and see what else presents. Hopefully that all made sense, guys. If it didn't, too bad. If it does, or even if it didn't, make sure YouTube, smash the like button, TikTok, hit that little screen. And let's quickly have a look at GJ, Great British Pound, Japanese Yen. Now, this is a chart I've sent into my members group just recently. So we're going to leave this here, but I will go over the analysis. We're just going to hide the drawings for the time being. What we can see is starting at the weekly. Well, we are to Wednesday now, so this is the time of the week where I start to revert to the current weekly candle, more so in towards the MI session, to be honest, guys. So we do still have a lower high, lower low. Are we just pulling back to grab more liquidity in order to break our own low and continue the push back down towards 198.50? Or is this going to be the low of the week? So what we're going to do is mark in the high of the weekly. So we're just going to remove that, because we've got resistance just below it by the looks of it. Anyway, let's move on to the daily time frame, guys. Daily, little bit of exhaustion here. Doji candle almost on the previous daily for lower low, higher high. A lot of indecision, and that's why we have this nasty range on the 4 hour time frame, which is technically bearish in structure. So I'll just pull up the drawings now. So that's the 4 hour resistance, the support. I mean, you could drag this all the way down. It's just a really big zone. Now onto the 30-minute time frame. And what basically I would be looking at on GJ for the time being, unless we're either at resistance or at support, I would literally avoid this range. To me, it's just a choppy mess. So what I'd like to see is for price to come back up to the resistance, reject, and look to potentially take a sell back down. If you're already in a sell, well done. You're in some decent profit by the looks of it. If not, I'd be waiting for it to pull back up and reset for potential sell from resistance. Otherwise, let it create the move to cut through this consolidation here to the left. And if it does so, it taps into the 4-hour zone to the downside, I'd be looking for my catalyst to look for a buy back up. And the only other thing I'd be looking for here today is for price to pop above the level here, 199,940. They are technically bullish on the 30-minute time frame here on GJ. So if we were to pop above that 199,940, I do believe there is a high probability with the clean traffic to the left that we could make a decent move to the upside, back up past that 200 to 220 sort of region. So that is my personal opinion of GJ for anyone who does care. I won't be trading it personally. I'm going to stick to what serves me best, and that is the gold. So that's what I'll be waiting for here today. In the meantime, YouTube, how are we, ladies and gents? Franco, good morning. Tony Gold, hope you're well, brother. Paul, good morning to you. Gold Sniper, good morning to you, mate. System is key. Behold the one and only divine trader, Justin the Dragon of Bearish. Thank you, my friend. Not sure about that, but I'll take it. Thank you for the kind words. John, hands down the best community to be part of. Appreciate it, my friend. Aaron, good to see you on the stream as well. I think you're my first ever member, mate, so legend. Hope you're well and enjoying time, mate. Always am enjoying it when I'm here, so loving life here. Fortunately, I won't be here for too much longer, but who knows, could be back soon. So, and Bartman, appreciate you as always. Give the stream a like, guys. That is correct. TikTok, let me have a look through the chat. Too many of you to name all the names just at the minute. Welcome one and all. Make sure to follow if you're not already doing so. Let me see if I've missed anything from the TikTok chat this morning or this afternoon my time. Lurching, good morning to you. Looks like that is basically it. Waiting for it. It's gonna come. I know it's gonna come on TikTok. No, nothing. All right, don't be shy, guys. If you have any charts you'd like me to look at, feel free to send those in and I will happily do so for you. Quickly have a look at GU and EU, seeing I've already marked those up as well and set them into my members group. GU, a little bit of a mess right now, but what I do like about it is, so prior to the stream, I sent this chart in and we had not tapped into the 4-hour support just yet. So seeing now we have done so, price was to begin to pop above the level here at 135, 150. I do believe at that point there's a high probability that we could be coming back up towards the resistance back at the 4-hour high, which is also around, is it the daily high? I don't think it quite is. No, it is, sorry, around that daily high. So that is what I'd be looking for here on GU, and otherwise rejection of that 4-hour resistance for a potential sell as well. On to EU just quickly. EU, similar to GJ, it's just stuck in the middle of a range at the minute. So I would preference it coming back down to the 4-hour support to look for a buy confirmation or up to the resistance for a sell. And either side of that, you got some pretty clean traffic for a potential sell or buy either side of the current 4-hour range. So that is what I'm looking at if I was to trade EU. Back to the gold. That was a cracking win this morning, my time. 2.19% on that particular trade, so I'm pretty happy with that return. Fed power in a buy from 63 to 67. Hoping we will reach 3,800. Well, you're in a good position, mate. So what I would suggest is have a plan. I know your plan is 3,800. But I would not give back your profit from being this far into profit. So I would definitely be at break even. I personally would be trailing my stop loss in profit. That's just the way I'd go about it. But, you know, each to their own. Just make sure you don't take a loss. we want to see. Let's remove that for the time being. Farhan, good morning to you. Master P, good morning to you. How's the week been so far, ladies and gents? To be honest, that was my first trades of the week. First trade of the week, sorry. Today. John, I took a buy on gold earlier today off resistance, entry 37.59, hit target of 37.75. Happy camper, nice one. 37.59. Assuming somewhere around here, if that's the case, then that's actually not a bad entry, mate. Not a bad entry at all. The only thing I would have been a little bit concerned about is that resistance. I probably would have taken the entry just there, if that is the level that you actually took your entry out, I mean, from this point. For me, that would have been the more probable entry. But nonetheless, still makes perfect sense because you're bouncing off support here. You're bouncing off the last significant high or low on the 15-minute time frame as well. Also bouncing off some 4-hour support. So as far as a level to get involved, I think you did get involved at the right area. So nice one, mate. You found a way in. Oliver, good morning to you, mate. Master P, do I have a VIP community? I do have a VIP community. It's literally $1 a day, and it gives you access to every bit of educational content, including 140 plus page course, which has about 70 short form videos and plenty of screenshots and detailed numbered points for every single entry in every single section. So it's there. It's you can find the links in that on my profile page. Searching currently on a pullback, self from 73 to 269. So you mean you're looking, you're in a sell from 73? Lady V, where is the next re-entry? Well, where is the next entry? As per my analysis, I'm not chasing it at the minute. Unless something sets up in between, which at the moment it is not doing so, I'd rather it pull back. So what I mean by setting up, I need a signal within price action. So a signal within price action could be a potential IC entry, an interruption candle entry, not to be mistaken with ICT. Interruption candle entry, the pause candle entry is something that you guys would have learned on this particular stream. So that would need to look something like so. If this is to be any other potential entry prior to price coming back down to either level A here 37.71 or level B 37.65, I need to see, without price tapping into this resistance, what I need to see is a pause like so. Could be stronger, could be weaker, doesn't really make a difference. I just need a bearish candle. It needs to be followed by something like so. It needs to close significantly above, engulfing by a minimum of about 10 pips minimum. But with the extra volume, with the volume about, you really want it closer to that 15-20. But so long as it's about 10 pips or more, I would definitely consider it. And then what that would mean is I have a valid interruption signal. So the entry would be, as price pulls back, I would have a limit order buy back at the high of that bearish candle in anticipation. From our experience and the data I've collected, there's a high probability it's going to tap in, reject that level, and continue in line with the trend, the bias, and momentum, and make the move up to the resistance. If we tap into the resistance, I'm not as keen on the entry, because we could in fact just reject that level of resistance, and we could end up back down into the range below. So don't want it to tap into a target. And who knows, step 1 may be presenting. We may have a bearish candle. Now, it's a very, very effective entry. It's a favorite entry of my VIP. It's fast becoming the favorite entry. Master P, all good, mate. Benji, where's the second line? 63, second line. 65. Guys, just again, while I've got quite a few of you on the stream now on TikTok, you want to know the prices where we're at on the actual chart. Think about jumping across to the YouTube stream. You get the full screen, you get all the numbers, all the scales, everything. So I'm streaming live on YouTube at the same time, guys. Exact same profile name. Yusuf, thank you for sharing the stream. Benji, start at 500, been aiming for 10% daily return. Using 5% lots for a month, then going up, aim 5%. Okay, interesting. Be careful having a goal, especially a daily goal, because what that's going to do is lead to chasing. So what if, question I asked to you, what if your first trade, or first 2 trades for that matter, were a loss? And then you're in the negative. Then you're putting pressure on yourself to get that money back. So not just to get to 10%, but just to make that money back. Sometimes that's going to lead to emotions. Well, for the most part, it's going to lead to your emotions kicking in, which therefore you could end up digging yourself a deeper hole. So I'd be very, very careful setting those sort of targets, my friend. What I would suggest is just, once again, like what I do, like what a lot of consistent competent traders do, is just have a plan. Know your edge, know that it works for you. And a good way to go about it, and yes, there is a product behind this, but a good way to go about it is by using Forex simulator, Forex tester. I've been doing so, I've been going crazy on it of late, testing different time frames, so on and so forth. Trust me, if you backtest your edge properly, your plan, then you have the utmost confidence. If you know the results, if you know you got a high percentage win rate, if you know the return is certain percent a week, a month, or whatever it is, then you have the confidence to back yourself in on the live chart. So I will be releasing a video, a sponsored video, obviously, possibly next week, from the team at Forex Tester Online. By far and away the best simulation software out there. I'll just show you quickly. It works exactly like TradingView. It's got a really unique feature too, where I'll go into detail. I'll do a live sim session perhaps this weekend, maybe, possibly. But it works exactly like TradingView. And it's got this really cool analytical tool. It tells you about all your strengths and what points you may need to improve, and gathers all the data. It's got all the different parameters. So anyway, I don't want to go into it too much. You guys will have to wait for that video and the live sim session. I do have a special discount code for my viewers, if anyone is in fact interested. Franco, you sent you G. Okay, by the way, that reminds me, let me send you guys a link for my team who want to join. Small range, yep. Okay, it's not much margin below that support though. Eyes above. What have I got here on GU? Yeah, I don't have that sell marked in. Let me see again. It looks a little bit different. Yeah, you got about 10 pips here. Isn't there less there though? Yeah, similar chart nonetheless though. Alright, we've not quite pulled back to that resistance. One moment, guys. Sorry, the pups had pups, and the pups of the pup are screaming. Obviously hungry. So we're wanting gold to now either make the move back down to the resistance and form support, or so we've got the first tick here from what I was drawing up before about the interruption play. So this candle was to close somewhat like so. As long as we don't tap into this resistance, we may have a valid buy and limit order on the next M15 potentially. Have a look at a 30-minute time frame here. Not a great deal of margin on the M30. So we're gonna have to play it based off the 15 if it is to present. Benji started, oh yeah, sorry, read that before. Lurching, closed my sell £11 from 200 account. I think I'm waiting a signal now. Well, it should be no one waiting on my actual signal. But if you agree with the trade I'm considering taking at the time, up to you by all means, but obviously it's not a signal service. Dylan says a bag looking for buys on gold. Yeah, yes. Davey, go sir, what is your time frame? M15 predominantly. And hello to you. Billy, would it be interested in partnership with Alpha Capital Group UK? Never heard of Alpha Capital Group, to be honest. If you just send me DM, mate. Yes, Navek, how are you, brother? Hope you're well. Give me a second, guys. Sorry guys, thank you for sticking around. Sorry, we had it's a pain in the ass taking care of little newborn pups. Trust me, you don't want to. Real pain in the ass. But anyway, oh yeah, no, I don't use fit. Not for the analysis. As an entry signal, sometimes I use it to gauge the strength of a candle against the previous candle, but that's the only time I use it. DS good Heritage Day here in SA. But you're still lazy in bed. Might trade my. Oh, nice one, mate. Thank you nonetheless for joining. Hoye, and also you're looking for a buy because the downtrend was interrupted. What downtrend? That's what I'll ask you. What amongst all this suggests we've been in a downtrend? I've been bullish for God knows how long ago. I mean, I haven't looked for any possible sell entries, but for me, there's no sell entry amongst all this. Bullish. Even the 15 will remain bullish until closure below this point at this rate. The impulse, the upside, that's the highest point. It's the origin. As long as you remain between, we're bullish. So how should you buy or sell EU? You should do what your analysis is telling you to do. For me, nothing at the minute. But I'd probably be looking for a buy from support.
Hey, good morning, Justin.
Hey mate, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You?
Not bad, just trying to juggle the day shift with the newborn puppies. The night shift is in bed.
Okay.
That's a real pain because the mother keeps taking her puppies out of the little area, little den,
Yeah.
for whatever reason. As yeah, gotta try fetch him every time. Hear him scream like crazy.
You're right. There's a lot to do there. Now you have
There's-
puppies.
Doesn't stop, mate. It never stops, honestly. But
Yeah. But it's good to have time to trade.
yeah, well, had some time this morning, so
Yeah, okay.
yeah, got a nice trade on gold.
Oh, nice.
8 AM my time. So
Nice, man.
what are we looking at? GU or
Yeah, I'm looking on GU. Coming down to, as I mentioned on my analysis. So
Yep.
I'm waiting so that they are leaving a long wick, and maybe I'm willing to take cells below this H4 resistance.
Yep.
And there is, so but mine is a little bit higher than yours,
Oh, okay.
and because of the wick. So I'm maybe if I close in the area of the wick, I'm maybe willing to take cells.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a bearish wick.
Yeah. And then maybe further down on the left side, you see still this IC candle play.
Oh, what
So
time frame?
on M50 and also on the M30.
M30. Yeah.
So,
Not sure how I feel about these ones though. But I see what you mean. But personally, the cluster, because this is the cluster interruption entry, I prefer that be actually at the support itself.
okay.
In this sort of circumstance, I prefer it to be just like one bearish candle.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I still see what you mean. So yeah, as long as you're managing your risk.
Yeah. Not
Coming down pretty quick. What's gold doing? Gold's still not doing much at the minute, just hovering above the resistance. So it looks like we may, in fact, pull back to it.
It's not what I wanted on GU.
Son of Dawn just entered gold at 37.70. Do you think it's good? You need to think it's good, mate. In all honesty, if you're taking an entry, you need to have a reason to take your entry. Personally, you just entered or you entered earlier, because we're not even at 37.70. We're now approaching it. Entered earlier, not a bad entry. I hadn't quite cleared the resistance. The entry for me would have been off this candle. I mean, it's popping back below that level now, so have a trade management plan, mate. Where's your stop loss? Hoya, you're right, so trend doesn't matter in small time. No, it does, mate, but I look at it differently, because people look at this thinking it's bearish in structure, or they may have said it's just flipped back bullish, it's created the high here, but this is all insignificant. To me, it's basically, so this is the highest point the market got to. In between, it was just straight bullish. There was no swing, no 2 or more consecutive candles pulling back in the opposite direction to the trend. The highest point the market got to is the all-time high, in fact. The origin of that swing is here. We've got the 2 or more consecutive candle pullback, those 2 bearish candles just there. So in order to flip the structure, we need to close below, or we need to create the high. And now to create the high, we need a confirmation of price closing above the highest point. At that point there, we look to the left and ask ourselves yet again, where was the last 2 or more consecutive candle pullback in the opposite direction to the trend? And that would be potentially where we are at just now. Let's just say if it did bounce, this candle closed bearish, which it is about to do so. Next one bounced off this level, then that would be the point where structure would flip bearish. So I see all this as, it's not technically flipping any structure. It doesn't mean there is no sell option, but I still believe it's of high probability that it's going to be a more probable move to the upside. And I've been training it to the upside, and I've been training it, very well to the upside. So I'm not going to start, going against my bias and my plan, the structure itself. So at this stage, I'd rather just wait patiently. Andrea, can we buy now? If you have a buyer catalyst, dismiss key, Brutus self-analysis, and adaptation is the key to success. That definitely does help. Sketchmas, hello to you, mate. Definitely does help, and that's where, again, Forex Tester really stands out above all its competitors, because it gives you brutal analysis. It tells you where you need to improve, things like that. You can also import your own trade history. It's a new feature they've just added, and it will give you detailed analytics, not just where you should improve, but the actual complete data set, your win-loss ratio, all that stuff, average win, average loss, average time of the trade, things like that, the average risk to reward, all that stuff. So just a phenomenal toolkit. It's more than a simulator, to be honest. It's a lot more than that. Buy or sell to my Thai friend? Nothing in a minute. Looking for a buy though. Nylush, buy or up, sir, now. Let's go sell. 37.62. You're in a sell to 37.62, or that's where you want to sell it from. Gold, once again, looking for a buy, but nothing in a minute. XRP, still very bullish. Don't trade it. Bounced off support, so to me, it's, again, crypto is still quite bullish, even after the big sell-off. I voice my opinion on Bitcoin. As long as it remains really above 100k, it's still well and truly intact, the uptrend. Oh yeah, all good, not a problem, mate. Eyelash, again, looking for a buy, but it doesn't mean I can just buy it. I need a confirmation. Millie, if you want, you can buy it. Not for me, just yet. It's in buzz. Are you putting entry? Not yet. No rush, guys. There is no rush whatsoever. I'm already flying in profit for the day, and why would I risk it on something that, for the sake of it, if I don't have a valid entry? It just makes no sense. A.C.T. Yo, g'day to you. Alright guys, just give me a second. I better check on the bloody pups. 1 minute. Alright, apologies guys. Kaya, thank you for sharing a live. Hoya, if FOMO kills my trades, my setups usually hit, but when price gets near support or resistance, I take them. Okay, so you're entering late after it makes the move, by the sounds of it. You know what, mate, I used to do all that stuff. So I think the important thing for you is just to make sure that what you're doing is actually, so obviously FOMO doesn't work, but way you trade, so your strategy, your edge, whatever it is, the style you trade, is to have the confidence that it works for you. And the only way to do that is to gather data, to be honest. That is the only way you can do it, whether it be through actual paper trading, demo trading, or once again through a simulator. Forex tester online is #1 by far and away, or just on a live account. Forward test, I always recommend doing that on a really small account, whatever you can afford, and just trade cent lots. That's the case. And once again, but journal. You need to gather as much data as you possibly can to be able to recognize what, you know, what works for you, identify what works and what doesn't. And what you can do is you can try to improve on your what doesn't work for you, your sorry, I've lost train of thought. Your weaknesses. You can try and improve on your weaknesses. What I normally suggest to my guys is, if the strengths outweigh the weaknesses, don't worry about the weakness. Put it to bed. So for instance, if breakout trades is your weakness, don't trade it. Just don't even consider a breakout trade anymore. But yeah, so you need to gather some data and have the confidence to trust yourself. Instead, you see your analysis play out for the most part. You just need to trust yourself. But again, it took me a long time to do that as well. So you're not, you know, not the only one, mate. Kaya, all good. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for sharing the live. Well, down 2,000 this week. I sold BTC and gold and lost both. On it for today. Off, mate. But yeah, just chill. Don't give up. Whatever you do. What is Napo? No idea what Napo is. I don't speak or read Arabic, so I can't. Unfortunately, I can't pronounce your name. What is not Amen? No idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. 804 explains drop quickly, please. This drop? What are you talking about? What drop? It just pullback. What is there to explain? The sellers are winning the armor, still pulling price back down to the resistance, but overall buyers are still in well and truly in control. Not sure what else I can put it, to be honest. Maggie, yes, I'm waiting for a potential buy. So we'll see. The drop last night, 804 from 80 to 50 quickly. Wasn't there not news about yesterday? Sure, there was news yesterday, and that probably explains it. Yeah, the Mr. Powell was speaking. That probably explains it. Possibly. No idea, I wasn't on the charts, so. But, clean move up, make the clean move down. So that's why we want to preferably be trading within clean areas. Alright, let's see on gold here. Are we going to form support? What more can we perhaps see on a 5-minute time frame? Are we going to create a little bit of a minor pause here on the M5? Or is the M15 still back well and truly bullish? If that's the case, we may have an early entry. I'd go low risk because it's not my typical entry. Definitely not my typical entry. In this sort of situation, my signal would be bullish engulfing. Like so. Or the interruption play, if that was to present maybe on 30-minute. Or basically just buys upon continuation above the high. See, where I would preference, what I would preference here is 30-minute closing back bullish. With the first 15 strong bullish, second 15 weak bearish, bring a minor resistance, minor pause at support. And as price begins to break the high of the catalyst M30, that to me is much higher probability. So we'll see, we're pulling back yet again in a minute. So for me, there is no confirmation just yet. See how this 5-minute candle closes. John's success for me is buying and owning the tax department money. They screw us big time. MD Monitor, can you give me 5k funded, please? No, I cannot. Aaron, can you do analysis EA when you got a bit? Yeah, I can, mate. Got just under 4 minutes, so I'll quickly do it for you. Looking at the weekly time frame to begin. Doesn't have a high, low, high, high, but we're pulling back. So let's just mark in a low of that current weekly candle. Let it continue bullish. Not much need to break it. At daily, we've got a lower high, lower low. At that support low near the weekly low, we've tapped into a potential level quick bounce off. The 4 hour would suggest a little bit more margin to the downside. Mark that in. The 4 hour structure itself is technically bullish. So we're bullish on the 4 hour. We are bullish still on the weekly. Bearish on the daily. Now onto the 30-minute time frame. That looks like it is definitely bearish. So again, a bit of a mixed bag. I'd be marking that level in. It's the most recent resistance. I wouldn't be selling down to the support. There is no margin. What I'd be looking for is either price to come back up to 178.350 and look for it to either reject to head back down for a potential sell option. Perhaps on the 15 as well. I suppose EA has a fair bit of volume usually. And otherwise, what I would do is look for price to pop above this resistance, flip the structure bullish, and then look for a buy. As long as it flips the structure bullish, then it doesn't necessarily need to tap into this 4 hour support to begin. So normally you would hear me say I'd rather tap into the 4 hour level, bounce off, and pop up the resistance. But in this case, you're going to be flipping structure. So that's good enough. You to wait for a closure above that point. 178.354. And I think that'd be good enough for a potential buy. All right, we want this to close weak bearish, not weak bullish. Loop, hey mate, do you think it's go to supply near all-time high, or should it follow the bearish trend? It's not in a bearish trend. What bearish trend? Yeah, and it's in a big strong uptrend. Should it? It could possibly. It could do anything. It doesn't have to do anything. It could drop. It could pump. Whilst we're in a uptrend, I believe there's a high probability of it heading back up towards the high. Let's see, guys. We have a little entry here. What sort of margin do we have in the 15? It's not going to be great. 16 pips. 30 plus pip stop. Look, it's potentially an early entry. But not if it closes this week. I'm not convinced at all if that's the case. 804, but the news was Trump saying fight to Ukraine. No idea. No idea, to be honest, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maggie, predominantly the 15, but I also look at obviously the 5 minute, the higher time frames as well. All right, so let's see. It's closing, by the looks of it, not too bad. Oh, it's not too good. Pull back a fair bit towards the end. Can't say I like it, guys, in all honesty. All right, what I do like though is the fact it's popping straight up. So if it pops up towards the high of this candle, similar to an entry I took here today earlier, pops up to the high, then begins to reject, creates a lower wick, bounces off this level once again, then I might buy stop. Maybe even the high of this candle. And that will give us a slightly better stop loss and a little bit more margin as well. So we'll just see. Maggie, again, it's off no one's business. It's enough to see some decent returns. It's also enough to see some decent losses if I'm not careful, but it's not a huge account at the minute. Did make mention yesterday I had to drain a fair bit of it for urgent home repairs and things like that. Back. Motor drive, can we see 3800 today? Possibly. And the way gold is been at the moment, just been on an absolute tear. Anything could happen. Madam Stacy, scalping sells. Thoughts? I think it's a bad idea personally. Doesn't mean it won't work, but I would not be selling it. It's in a big strong uptrend. Maggie, you think it's going up? Do you have a confirmation? If you do, take a trade. If not, might need to wait. Aaron, all good, mate. Pleasure. All right, let's see if it's going to flip back bearish. Mo, I trade personal. All right, so 37.7308 could be a potential entry point if we were. I don't mind the fact that we've flipped back, we've tapped into again that level. $73. Oh wait, if we remain above this resistance, we begin to break our own high of this candle again, I do believe there's a good chance we're at least coming up to 37.75. At that point, I'd be well and truly break even. I would have secured something. And the target would be pretty much this level where it's at. 3780. All right, we're in. So it's a little bit of an early entry, guys. It's a little bit different to the way I would normally trade. It's pushing nicely. All right, I'm gonna get to break even pretty soon. We've got 7 pips. I'm gonna get to break even because it's a little bit of a slightly more impulsive entry for me. Normally around that 10 to 12, 15 range, I'd start securing. So I'm at break even. Let's see if we can get to TP1. I'm gonna buy. Close. Got more than 8 pips. There we go, 9. Take entry now. Well, I'm already in a trade. And there's pretty much TP1. Well, there you go. There's 12. There you go. Could TP if you want. Take some profit off the table. Get to break even. And that is job done. Nice and easy. Nice and easy, guys. So I've secured a little bit. I'm going to let the rest run. Maggie, yes, I'm in a trade. Mentioned it before I took the entry. Well, let's go. Let's go, team. So we're running nicely now. 14 pips profit. Let's go. And this is how we roll. Probably the most consistent stream out there. And what a day it's been for me. Wow. I'm up over 3% for today. Make that any day a week. What a cracking day. 80, you should be in already. Yeah. Yeah, you've already got more than 14 pips on the table, 15 pips on the table. You had more than that. Nikego, I'm sorry to hear that, but what can I do? I've got my own problems to worry about as well. Everyone does, so not much I can do about it. Nox Verity, hey sir, 37.71.40. Good entry, a buy limit there in case it taps the liquidity. Well, that's almost, I mean, it's just a bit above. You've already tapped into it though, that's the thing. So no, I don't think it's too late for that type of entry. It's hard, 40 pips, you take entry from 73. 73, yeah, 73.08. So we're currently running at about 17 pips. And guys, don't be greedy, it's tapping into this resistance, so definitely consider securing. I've already secured some partials. Well, let's go, killing it. We're killing it on this stream. Spice of Life, should we buy? A bit late, Lau, well done, nice work. Spice of Life, hello to you. So we've already secured some profits on gold. And the job done. Noxurity? Yeah, I'm only bullish. So we're in a big strong uptrend. 88x. Set up TP at 7777. Just missed. Oh, you mean to the upside here? Oh, just depends on your broker. Half, maybe spread, but it looks like a team back up there. Elliot, look at this. 17 pips on the table, guys. Assad, my way of telling entry is not good. Maybe your ears are no good, my friend. Don't get dirty with me because you missed an entry. It's not a signal service. We're here to learn. You said if the entry closed above previous M15, and yeah, but did I not say what I'm going to do is if this pops up, go back, and rewind the stream. If you can't do it on TikTok, go into YouTube stream. I did say if this pops up towards the high of that candle, then pops back down to tap back in again, I will set a buy stop above this candle's high, in anticipation that we'll once again pull back to tap into a previous level of liquidity. We've left a long wick into it on the previous bearish candle. So as long as we remain above it, in my opinion, is a high probability it was going to continue bullish. So off the back of that, what I said was I'm going to place a buy stop above the high of this current candle. I'll get in a little bit earlier. I'll have a little bit better of a stop loss. It'll give me more margin to target. That is exactly what I said. And if you don't believe me, jump onto the YouTube stream and rewind it. No, dude. It is no good. There's not much I can do about it. No, but I would not enter right now. You're too late, mate. Personally. People get dirty because they can't hear properly. Funny. Or they're here just for a signal and they can't find their own trades. Anyway. Gold W. No name. How all good, brother? Hope you're well. Would you mind just going over the trade you just took? I just joined. Yeah, no problem, mate. Well, like I mentioned, my possibilities were for an entry on gold were either upon the pullback or above the high, or what I really would have liked to see is for perhaps for this candle with closed bullish engulfing to look for the IC entry. None of that eventuated. But what we did do is pop back down. We did form support in the M15. It was a very weak support. We did have a minor resistance on the 5-minute, which also I did like. But it was more so to do with the price action of the actual entry candle itself. So what this candle did itself was it initially popped straight up around about there. At that point, it began to reject, create its lower wick, once again tap back into this resistance. But so long as we were to remain above it and begin to flip and break our own high again, I believe at that point there was a higher probability that it was going to push to the upside. So off the back of that, it gave me also a better stop loss, and it gave me more margin to target. So for me, that was a good way of finding a way into the trade in an uptrend. Again, I've price pulling back, rejecting also this particular range below of that the bearish candle, pull the way back into it, only to reject, and we remained above it. So for me, that was the entry. Obviously, the runner has been taken out. It was a nice quick win, and a cracking day it has been for me. So hopefully that helps, my friend. But again, I will obviously do the video update for you guys. You are obviously a VIP member. So the journal, that will go into the journal later. Probably a little bit later because I have to pick up my son earlier from school today. For the remainder of this week. To the person asking about NZ, I'm assuming you're asking what's my opinion of it. I can't read whatever language that is. Doesn't look good. Really that much. The weekly strong bearish. It does have lower high, lower low, and wow, I would have thought this would be similar to most of the other majors pushing bullish, but it seems not to be the case. Strong bearish in a weekly at support though. Bearish daily, once again at support. Not a bad level to start contemplating buys, but you need some sort of catalyst, some structure flipping on at least the 30-minute time frame here. 4 hour is definitely bearish in structure. Mark in the most recent, so I'm marking this level. Resistance, I would mark in the tough ones. I mean, I'll just that is the most recent. I'll adjust it shortly in the M30. And the M30 structure, the way I see it is, let's look at it properly here. Technically bearish. So long as it remains below this swing points, basically these highs, we are technically bearish on the 30 minutes. So the bias is bearish here on NZ. Not a great place to sell it though. You're selling into the support. Definitely need to wait for some structure, minor time frame structure to flip here to look for potential buys. So that being maybe on a 15-minute time frame. Yeah, it's very bearish. I mean, the more probable bet is to wait for it to pull back yet again. It's either this resistance, or the 4-hour level reject. Or your sell options, sells below low. It's, yeah, you're running straight into more support. It's not a good looking chart, to be honest. I don't see really much at all. No. It's been broker through. Not sure what you mean, my friend. Son of Dawn, how do you manage trading like a full-time job and support your family? Well, again, it's just by following a plan. I've mentioned it too. Was it Monday or last week? I think it was Monday. Someone asked the question, is this your full-time job? It is, but I also have money coming in the background. So I have another business with my family, which takes the pressure off me needing to trade. So I know if it's not a trade day, it's not a trade day. If nothing presents, I just don't need to trade. So I would suggest having some, you know, side income, side hustle, because that's going to take the pressure off you. Because if it is to be a full-time, and not for everyone, I mean, look, I've done it full-time. I do it more full-time, obviously, when I'm away. But I did it during, obviously, the COVID time and that. But yeah, it would take the pressure off needing to find a trade, because, you know, you need to pay bills and things like that. If you know you got something coming in on the side, then it takes the pressure off and you can just focus on quality and not quantity. And that's what I personally do. And today it's been a cracking day. CRT, did you take position on gold? Took profit on gold. Yeah, that buy. So it's over and done with. Now the next potential buy would be above the resistance. Can it still enter for buy? And not personally, not in my opinion. Kenneth, no, my runner was taken out. Sebi bias is definitely bullish. Me. There we go. That brings up the 11k followers. Thank you, one and all, on TikTok. Pretty quick time too. All organic growth too. I've not promoted the channel at all. Pretty happy with that. Right, it is London Open, by the way, guys. Sorry, forgot to check time. Yeah, I'm bouncing off the support again. Let's see. I mean, I don't need to trade the rest of the day. I've had a cracking day. There's no need to trade. But we'll see. I'll stick around for a bit more, see if I can call something. BJ still heading up. Are you trying to form support? Are you at support? AU, there was high impact news for the Aussie dollar. CPI came out greater than expected, so hence the move to the upside here on the Aussie dollar. So it means to be a little bit more hawkish when it comes to rate cuts moving forward. So that's a good thing for, personally for me, for seeing I do need to change Aussie dollar quite regularly. but quickly as it goes up, it comes down double as hard normally. So not getting too carried away just yet. Back to the gold, guys. I'm guessing, in other words, what made you mark out that blue zone? It's not typical. Oh, no, it's a previous resistance. It was, we had not pulled back to retest it. It was this level here. Lines up with that wick, the Asian session high. And that's the closest body of any bearish candle to that level. So that's why that level was there. Wanted to see price pull back, see how it reacted to it. And what I did mention during my analysis was to look for buys from either this level or a level a little bit below it, and if all else fails, potentially back at the 4-hour support. DS Navec, do you place the trades on TradingView or no? MT5, mate. MT5. I use magic keys to manage my positions, and I cannot do that on TradingView. No name, pleasure, mate. All good. Going with the Kim, what indicates the Asian session high, please? So this is the Asian range thing. I'll type it in for you. Fine. Now I've adjusted the parameters though to suit my liking. So for me, I've got it set for literally Tokyo Open to the Euro Open. That's where I have it set to. So technically it wasn't the Asian range high, it wasn't earlier in the day. No name. But yeah, otherwise it'll just be set to literally the Asian session close. It's still open, the Asian session. Going with the Kim, all good. Hoya, would this candle indicate upward rise if it closes above resistance? In my opinion, yes, it'd be a pretty strong confirmation. To close above the zone here, the high of the resistance, the most local minor resistance, and I believe it's a good chance it will continue bullish. DS Navec, so when you say take partials, do you like open two or more trades simultaneously and then click? No. So again, with magic keys, I just close either whatever, close half, custom for me is 80%. I've set that to 80%. I mean, this is magic keys, guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about. I've got both the physical and obviously the on-screen version. So what I can do is just, I can literally click close half, close full, close custom, stop loss entry. It just makes it a lot easier having to, just doing this, using this toolkit of, instead of actually manually modifying it on MetaTrader, because that can be tedious. In the meantime, it might pop up, pop back down, and you miss out on a few pips, or you get wrecked by a few more pips. So that's what I'm talking about when I refer to magic keys. If anyone is interested, there is a link on the YouTube stream down below, and there is a special promo code that you get 20% off. It's not expensive. The online version is like 30 bucks or something, 30 US. Plus I think you get the discount. Oh yeah, you want a full port 50 lots and reach a new high thoughts? I think that's a pretty stupid idea, but up to you. DS Navec, all good, mate. Matthias, your thoughts for someone that has phenomenal backtest result but is having challenges to deliver the same result live market? Well, is there a reason? Are you doing anything differently on a live chart? because if not, then if you've done enough back testing, and I mean it, you know, a minimum of 50, close to 100 trades, and you've got a track record, you know, it could be 70, 60, 70, 80%, whatever it is, with, you know, a decent return on your profitable trades and, you know, managing your losses. Think I'm not, but certainly not. Certainly yes. Oh, so you mean you've backtested for, okay. So, but you don't think you're doing anything differently? You just got to give it time then, my friend. That's plain and simple. I mean, how long have you been struggling live? Because I've always mentioned it too, there's going to be times where you're going to take some losses, consecutive losses, and you know, doesn't mean you're just going to change things up. The back of that eventually will turn if you've got the data to back it up. 9 months. Or maybe be market conditions. I mean, it's been a very volatile 9 months, hasn't it? To be honest. Perhaps you got to be a little bit more strict. Maybe go back to the simulation for a bit. And maybe change 1 or 2 things up. So if you're taking perhaps some more impulsive entries, maybe tweak them a bit, wait for an extra confirmation, like a closure or so on and so forth. Yeah, if it's been 9 months, then maybe you, not sure, mate, you may need to go back to the drawing board, because 500 over 500 trades backtesting should, you know, if it's good based on that, should be fine on the live chart as well. But again, it has been different these 9 months. Sorry, man, I'm not sure if that really helps. DS Nevek, then another thing, which goal do you open on TV is? No, I don't really bother too much. I mean, I do have IC Marketeer, but for whatever reason, I have no idea why. It's lagging. It's 2 minutes behind. It's literally 2 minutes behind. So this 15-minute counter's got 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. And this particular 15-minute counter's got 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. So this one lines up with my MetaTrader. So that's why I don't use it here. Otherwise I would. So I don't think it makes that much a difference, to be honest. At the end of the day, I'm executing the levels are based on my MetaTrader. Matthias, no worries, mate. Again, it's a tough one. It can be very frustrating, but just don't give up. Maybe for the time being, I'm not sure if you know what sort of account size you train, but maybe just chill for a bit, go down in lot sizes, work on, again, maybe adjusting the strategy a little bit and see how that goes. CRT, do you manage MetaTrader 5 and Magic Keys both? No, you can't Magic Keys on your phone. I do not trade off my phone. I don't like it. No, thank you for the sticker. No, it's all done from the PC. Currently rejecting that resistance, so we'll see, guys. Still no further confirmation just yet. Just when it's key, I've never backtested. I always have reviewed every trade I took and analyzed what I could have done better. Well, that's fair enough. At least you're putting the effort to gather data in that respect by journaling. So that to me is pretty much the same as forward. That is forward testing. So you're doing it on a live account. Some prefer not to risk money while they're testing things out. To be honest, the most back testing I've done is while I've been training live. So got my live account going. I'm back testing, like I said, I've been back testing like crazy of late. All the different projects. Just, yeah, you can even test a bot. You can even upload your own bot. This thing is crazy, this tool. You can do a prop challenge. You can adjust the parameters according to whatever prop challenge you want to take. So you can actually make sure you know you could pass it prior to any test prior to parting ways with your money to take on a challenge. So I've been going crazy with it of late, and I really enjoy it. It's actually fun, to be honest. And it's not like you have to watch every candle print, although it does have every single second of tick data within every single candle, no matter what time frame, if that's what you want. But you can literally skip forward to the next candle, to the next session, things like that. It's really, it's unbelievable, this simulator. So much better than anything I've used before. To effect, what I've noticed at time, for example, 5 minutes, preview would show 4 candles, into 5 like 3. Yeah, see, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I've not noticed that. Discipline scheme backtesting is fun because there is no risk, you know. Data. Well, that's it. You know, only prints data that will help you. It's a lot more fun when you got a functional, you know, simulator. Because again, I've probably tried about 4. No more. I've tried about 5. And this is by far and away the easiest of the lot to use. By far and away. Matthias, Forex Tester Online. It's in it. If you're interested, make sure to click on it. Will help me out. But knowing that you get a discount. There's a link in the description under the YouTube, in the YouTube description on the stream. And it's got a discount code as well. So it is by far and away the best out there. So I've been testing for the particular video that I'm uploading. Tested the interruption candle entry on the M30 time frame. So got all the panels here, pending orders, whatever strategies. You can upload your own bot, you can upload your own indicator as well if you really wanted to. There's journal and the analytical tool, which tells you where you could potentially improve and what your strengths are, things, so on and so forth. Your position sizes, your, you know, percentage return, what happened when you went long, what happened when you went short, all that sort of stuff, and your calendar as well. So yeah, just click on the link down below if you are interested. Discipline scale, I believe that motions plays a bigger role in adaptability in these. Yeah, true. Motions is huge, and that's what used to wreck me. I used to take a loss, have to get it back. I didn't get it back, I couldn't go to bed, and I dig myself a digger hole, get depressed about it, walk away, think I'm not gonna bother with it again. Come back next day, do the same shit, take a few days off. It honestly, shit hit the fan probably about 2019. I had enough of my own stupidity. I took a week off after blowing 10% one day, chasing 10% for the week. On a Friday, I was 8.5% up at that point, and I blew literally 10% for that day, and up losing for the week 1.5%. After that, I took a week off, came back so much better for it, to be honest. I took a week off actually live training, but I did do some analysis in regards to my data because I was journaling. I realized I actually understood, and I was winning a lot more than I was losing. It was just stupid things that was holding me back. I was sabotaging my own good work. And the only way I could realize that is by having the data there. So yeah, journal, backtest, all that stuff. And ever since, I've been so much better for it. It doesn't mean you don't make mistakes here and there. You know, we're human. Sometimes the emotions do take advantage of us. But for the most part, if we can control it, we'll be a much better trader moving forward. Matthias, all good. Discipline system is most of the time good, but the emotions, the rules makes it different. Yep, 100% it does. So don't you think it's go up to 3784 on 15 minute? No idea. Have to wait and see. Let go of the 2 blue boxes. This is the most recent support, which lines up with the resistance that we broke out of just before the stream. And this is the most recent local minor time frame resistance, the highest point of it. So to the downside here, I could really just adjust it to there now. And I'm still not interested in selling it below because I'm not flipping any structure. Me, I'm all about buys here on gold today. CRT, what do you use to calculate your positions before taking a trade? It's all manually done through, sorry, automatically done, not manually done, through Magic Keys. So I trade fixed lots. All I have to do is set up, so literally on Magic Keys, it will, once you open the actual, you click on open calc, that will open up, that will show the horizontals on your screen. If you've got a pending order, that line will show up and you just adjust it to where you want to enter, where you want TP, where you want your stop loss. And if you're risking a certain percent per trade, that will automatically adjust your position size for you, so you don't need to calculate yourself, because that can be time consuming. Hey, what time frame? 15. Black Diamond, thank you for sharing a live. Thank you to the 47 new followers. YouTube, I don't, you guys again, you rock. I have no idea what to do with getting the numbers up though. The struggle. We keep on winning. But apparently that's not good enough for those on YouTube. Not you guys, the ones here, you rock. Let me change the 126 wins and 32 losses is the stream record. Not bad if I may say so myself. $79.75% win rate. All trying to push yet again, guys. Let's see. Okay, we're just waiting for the market now, yeah. Well, the plan was for closure above. But again, I might call a trade, but I'm not going to take it. I've already had 2 nice wins for today, and I'm more up over 3%, so I'm done. That's my rules. Usually 1 or a day, 2 generally speaking would be the max. Sometimes 3, but I'm happy with being over 3% up for today, personally. Breaking at the minute. Benji, what daily percentage return should I look on? And again, I mentioned earlier, don't chase don't chase a target. Just what your objective should be is to do things right. So once again, know your strategy, have a plan, know your edge, and wait for it to present. And again, if you've done your homework, you've done your whatever it is, forward testing, back testing, journaling, and you know what you do actually has potential and does work for you, then it's just a matter of waiting for it to present. And if it gives you an opportunity and you take the trade, win, lose, or draw, you just need to accept it. As long as you're doing your own, you know, due diligence and waiting for your position to present and, you know, reacting accordingly, as opposed to trying to find something for the sake of trying to make a return, then you're doing things right if you're doing it, you know, that way. And all else should fall into place. So some days you're going to have a decent return. Some days you might take a little loss. Some days there'll be no trades. But for the most part, by the end of the month, end of the week, end of the month, end of the year, you're going to be well and truly in the blue. And that should be the most important thing. So for me, you know, some weeks it's literally 1%. Some weeks I don't trade much at all. Some weeks I don't even take a trade if I'm not on the charts much. You know, I've had a couple losing weeks this year. Did not chase it back. The most recent one was a 2% loss, and that was my worst losing week for the year. That was about more than a month ago now, about 6 weeks ago. Came back the following week. The first day I took a loss straight up on the Monday. Didn't shit myself thinking, oh shit, all, you know, everything's just downhill from now on. Didn't panic. Stuck to, again, my plan, my rules. I followed up for like 4 straight wins for the rest of the week. Ended up well and truly covering my loss on the previous week. So focus on doing things correctly. Don't worry about chasing targets. If you're trying to pass a prop firm, a challenge, evaluation, as far as I know, there is no time constraints anymore. So just take your time with it. I know some guys who took months to pass it, and they've withdrawn since as well. So because they had the patience just to let it present. Benji, all good. A fair, yep, thank you. Sunny, bye. 71. Are you planning to short or long? No, I'd be definitely more on the side of buying. Already taken a win earlier. At the moment, personally, I'm just chilling. Discipline's key. Without the losses, you will never become the winner that you are today. Losses are 10 times more valuable than wins to analyze. Yeah, true. That is a very good point, because look, for the most part, my losses may sound stupid, but planned losses. What I mean by that is I stuck to my plan, stuck to my rules, but didn't do anything stupid. But sometimes you pick up on 1 or 2 things you could potentially tweak, so you're right on that. But what some of the losses suggest is it was a stupid trade. I didn't follow my rules, didn't follow my plan, and then, you know, it's a pretty simple fix. Don't do anything impulsive, reckless. But yeah, you definitely need to learn from your losses. Also learn from your wins. So it's important to analyze every single trade you take. Benji, yeah, only trade live. To be honest, been learning for 2 months, wanted to go funded, but heard a lot. Yeah, just take your time with it. Stories about people not being paid out. It does. It happened to me. Happened to me on a big 300k account. Happened to me. It was due a payout, and they come up with some bullshit reason. Parameter that had not broken. They said it was their mistake. And then they locked me out of my account, and I couldn't trade for 30 days. And then I lost my account because of that. Whole time. Did not answer my emails or nothing. Absolute prick. So be very careful when you are, you know, considering an evaluation. Brandon Lucas, no. I don't know. What breakout strategy? I rarely take a breakout these days, to be honest. We're currently rejecting, guys, so looks like there's not going to be another potential re-entry for the time being. When should we buy? Again, what I mentioned before is I'd want to see a closure above this resistance. Personally, for me, sit back, relax, enjoy. In a very expensive week or so it definitely helps. It's another important thing, guys, too. I highly recommend is realizing some of the profit. So what I mean by that is withdraw some profits when the profits are there to be taken. Withdraw from your broker. If you're on a live account, if you're on an evaluation, you've passed it, take your withdrawal, because then you appreciate it more. When it's in your account and you know, you can see you've earned it, it's yours, you appreciate it more. So yes, I like to compound, but at the same time I like to see the return as well. MD on tool, hey bro, I think market will reverse if market hit 3780. What do you think? I don't know, mate. In a big strong uptrend, I'm not predicting. Again, I react to what I see. I don't worry about what's ahead. I just react to what's in front of me. Gold could go to 3,000. Gold could go to 4,000. I don't care. As long as when I'm on the chart, again, if my plan presents, I will take my opportunity. If not, you can do whatever it wants to do. I really couldn't care less where it's going. My personal belief is it's only going to go up. Been a big advocate for gold, silver for a long time. Look at silver now. 44 US dollars. This has been in a big upturn as well. Don't personally trade it, but I do definitely own it. There's some vectors. ICM spreads vary throughout the day. IC markets a little bit, but not too dramatically. For the most part, I mean, it's very competitive. Once again, I may have a deal soon with another broker, which is they're also very competitive. But it may grant those who are interested access to the my VIP community. So nothing's been finalized though. Partly on because of me, to be honest. I've been a bit slack, but I've been busy. Mo, yes, for the time being. So the current spread on gold is half a pip, and it's not moving. It's been around that for the most part of the session. All right, so it's not closed above, guys. So for me, there would be no entry just yet. Not a bad closure. Still, I would have wanted price action to do as it did on this particular entry, where it popped up first, then back down, rejecting this range, then as it broke its own high again. I would consider an entry off the back of that. That's not happened. So what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. There's the VEC. No issues with them. Yeah, nah, they're fine. Yeah, so well done, guys, for those who took the trade on gold today. It's been a really good day for myself. Yeah, so all the information for anyone who's interested in anything on YouTube, it's all in the description below. TikTok, you're always welcome to send me a DM, say good day, have a chat. I always reply to any message, and you can find links to anything as well on the profile page. But yeah, do appreciate the support, guys. Well done, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. To my team, I'll catch you guys at some point later today. I'll have to let you know later on, but take care.
Yeah, see you, man.
See you, mate.
Bye.
See ya. And once again, YouTube, TikTok, I will catch you guys same time, same place tomorrow. Until then, trade safe, guys, and bye for now.